Okay, so hi guys, it's Miss Lollipop and welcome back to another one of my videos, or welcome to if you are new.
What we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming?
Okay, hi guys, post-editing Lauren is here right now. Just got to the end of editing this video and it is 50 minutes long. I kid you not, 50 minutes. So you guys are going to get a 50-minute long video today. I'm so sorry to hit you up with that, but basically, I didn't want to cut anything out of the video because I thought everything that I mentioned needed to be included. I cut as much as I could, but realistically, if you wanted to know about all the different mods that I was suggesting, then I wanted to show enough of them where you could get an idea if you wanted them in your game or not. So I am going to include, timestamps in the description below. So I'll have a list of all the mods and their links to the downloads in the description below, and also timestamps to where you can see them in the video. So if you don't want to watch a specific, section of the video about a specific mod, you can just skip to the next section or the next mod that you're interested in, just because obviously I know there'll be a few of you guys who just will want to watch the 50-minute video flat out and see all the mods that I've suggested and everything that I've got about them so you can learn how to use them within your own game. However, there are going to be, some people that have already got the mods that I've mentioned, or some people who aren't interested in the mods that I've mentioned in there. So if you're not, go ahead and head to the description and just click on the timestamp and it will skip you to the correct part of the video that you want to watch. Just so that obviously you guys haven't got to sit here and watch 50 minutes of me talking and be super bored of me. You're welcome. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy the video. And today's video is going to be about my mods that I have in my game that I think make the game most realistic. So I picked out a few of my favourite mods that I feel add a lot of realism to the game, because I've had a lot of people asking me about, what can you guys see this woman in the background? Okay, you guys have been asking me what you think, what type of mods that I use to add more realistic gameplay, and just what sort of mods do I use actually within my game. So I picked out all my favorites and collated them into this video, and I'm going to go ahead and link all of the downloads in the description below. So if you want to go ahead and head in there, you guys can go ahead and download any of the mods that are in this game. And also I'm going to be showing you, a few of the basic things that, goes along with each of the mods and what they do within your game. But I'm not going to go into too much detail because obviously we've got a lot of mods to go over. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are here with my test family. So we've got mum, dad, we've also got a teenager, and we've also got the twins, Malik and Lila. Hold on. Forgot their names. Leilani. The first mod that we're going to be going over is the Slice of Life mod, which you guys have probably heard of before, but it's definitely a must-have on the most realistic mods tab, because it's one of my favourite mods, and I don't think I would ever take it out of my game now that I've had it in. It just adds so much realism within the game. These guys are such cuties. It adds so much realism within the game that I feel like I couldn't get rid of it just now. So a few things that are currently happening to our Sims that relate to the Slice of Life mod is, one, all the women who are teenagers will begin to have their periods if you so choose to have this. You don't have to have every single module that comes within the mod. You can take some out, but right now I have got the period module in. So in 12 days she starts her menstrual cycle and she'll be on a period for 3 days, and then when she reaches an elder, she'll be no longer to get her cycle. So when she comes on her cycle, she will get certain moodlets. She'll probably get mood swings, like she's getting angry, when girls like PMT and things like that. She will experience all of those things, which I found is really cool because obviously, the game never had that in there before. Also, she starts getting moodlets. So for example, we've got Gail and Emmeline. They actually went and had a little bit of woohoo before I started the video, and right now she has a memory saying that she had woohoo, and this is added to her memory system. And sometimes in this memory system she can randomly think back to these memories, and they will kind of make her happy, make her sad, depending on how she feels about that memory, which I thought was really, really cool that it adds that. I thought it was just a really, really cool thing to see within the game. So yeah, as you can see with this Life of Life mod, if a sim is really embarrassed, you can see that he's actually got a red face and it sort of looks like flushed. That's because he's feeling embarrassed, and obviously his face was flushed, which is something that might happen in real life. So there's certain like facial interactions and facial changes that you'll see depending on the Sim's moods. It's the same with like if they become flirty, they'll also get a pink face as well, like a flush face, which I think is a really, really cool addition to the mod. Overall, I think it's a really, really nice thing to add. Okay, so a few other things that come with this mod, for example, is actually the turn-ons and turn-offs. So in here we have the slice of life, section where we can click on him. So if you click on your sim, it's in here. We've got the slice of life settings in here. So this allows you to choose your turn-ons and choose your turn-offs. Right now, your sim will automatically get a turn-on and a turn-off and also a talent. However, you can randomly generate this for the sim, or you can, automatically pick it when you choose them. If a sim, for example, this sim is actively mined, you could actually make them physically talented, and they would then it would show up in their Simology thing, their traits Simology area, and he's now physically talented, so he can build his skills faster in obviously physical exertion. And also with the turn-ons and turn-offs, I found quite cool is when you add a turn-on, for example, he could love loves skinny sims, for example. He will then build relationships faster with a sim that has a skinny body. It would be his turn on, and he could have a turn off, which would mean that their relationship would grow slower. That's the idea of it, which I think was really cool. It was something we had in The Sims 3, so obviously this mod adds something a little bit different. Alongside that also is a new one that they've added in, which is called skincare. So right now your sim can actually put on a skincare treatment. So for example, if we do a daily treatment, we'll have Gale here go ahead and put on his skincare treatment. And right now you can see he's got an eye mask sheet on. So this will help brighten those dark circles and help prevent his acne. So the idea of these skincare masks is sometimes your sims will end up getting acne with the Slice of Life mod. This will either reduce it or bring their acne down if they've already got it, which I thought was quite cool. And they'll, sit with this little eye mask on for the next 2 hours, and then they'll take it off automatically, or if you have them have a shower, it will come off, and then obviously their acne will go away. And obviously sometimes they come up with acne when they wake up in the mornings. There's loads of other things that come with this mod, like sometimes they get stinky and things like that, but just overall the mod adds loads of different things in that adds like little snippets of life, which is why it's called the Slice of Life mod. And it's one of my favorite mods, and I really, really recommend you guys downloading it if you currently don't have it, because it adds loads of different things in your game that adds quite a lot of realism. And if there's a particular section of the mod that you don't necessarily like, for example the drunk buff, so your sims can actually get drunk when they drink a lot of alcohol, you can actually just remove that module from the folder that it comes in, and it will show you how to do that in the instructions, and then that way your sims won't get drunk at all. So if there's certain things that you don't want, like periods for example, you can just take them out, which I thought was really good and really versatile and allows you to sort of customize the mod as you want. So yeah, I think we are finished with that one, and we're going to move on to the next mod called Meaningful Stories. So the Meaningful Stories mod, what that will do is, first of all, it will make Sims default state be be fine. So for example, this sim right now is this sim, for example, her default state is now fine. So in the green tab right now, she is now fine, and when a sim becomes happy, their color relates to white. Because the idea is that it requires sims to do a lot more to be happy, because naturally sims are automatically always happy, which realistically, if we're going to be honest, not everyone is always happy. that doesn't always work that way, which I find quite cool because it makes it a lot harder for sims to become happy. However, there are certain moodlets that will boost their happiness. So for example, right now, this sim ate some pretty good food, and it is boosting their happy moodlet that they've got, and it means that their first moodlet that they have, or the other moodlets, will last a lot longer. So if you keep boosting the happy moodlet, it's going to last a really, really long time because all of the motives stack on top of each other and sort of boost each other up, if that makes sense. So the sim will stay in that moodlet for a long time, but it's exactly the same way if a sim becomes sad. So if a sim was to become sad, it would take a lot more work to be able to get that sim to become happier. So let's go and see if we can make one of our sims maybe sad or angry. Okay, so right now we have our teenage sim, Marina. She is feeling really, really angry. So she will be angry for 2 hours. Now, if she did have another moodlet, for example, that moodlet would have to be more powerful than this moodlet in order for her to overcome her anger. So if she ended up receiving another angry moodlet, if we made her be really mean to her dad some more, that would then boost her angry mood and should be angry for even longer than what she was before, if that makes sense. So all of the times stack on top of each other and they'll be in that moodlet for a lot longer, which personally I like because it makes it a lot harder for your sims to get out of the moodlet that they're in, which is quite common in real life. I mean, all of these, mods are adding realism within the game, and I personally like that. It's not always easy to just forget that you were angry. So I really like the fact that, this is actually something that's in it. So, yeah, basically, their default state isn't happy anymore. It'll be fine, and moodlets will last longer on Sims, which I really, really like. If you guys obviously want any more information about these mods, it will be in the download section, so you guys can just go there and find out more information. But yeah, I think we are finished with the Meaningful Stories mod. The next one will be the Confess to Cheating mod. Okay, so we have Emmeline right here, and we actually have Gail. So let's go and see if we can find a sim to actually cheat on Emmeline with. Should we pull up this old lady over here? She looks like she's the only one around, right? Oh no. Are we really gonna have to hit on this little old lady? No. Okay, whatever. Right, we're just gonna have to go for it. Okay, we're gonna grab this little old lady here. This is Mackie. We're going to go and make our relationship with her higher and a romance with her higher as well. And let's come out here and actually give her a kiss. I can't even believe we're doing this right now. Okay, Gail, come outside and come and cheat on your wife a second with this little old lady who you've never met before. Oh, how funny. Okay, right, Gail is kissing Mackie. Okay, so now, officially, he should have cheated on his wife. So, if I go ahead and actually wake up Emmeline, he can now go to her in the mean interactions and actually confess to cheating. So if we go over there and actually have him confess to cheating with Emmeline, Emmeline is going to walk over to him, and this is basically how it goes. So right now there isn't actually that in the game available. The only way for Sims to realise that another Sim is cheating is to actually be here when it happens, and for them to to see it, and then they'll become jealous. But it's not necessarily viewed in the same way, which I don't like personally. So okay, here we go. Right, they're about to do it. Okay, so here it is. She's getting angry at him, and then watch their relationship. So right now their relationship is now basically cut in half on everything. So they're still together, but obviously they're not in a good mood, and their relationship has gone down by quite a lot, which personally I like, because there was no interaction within the game to actually confess to cheating on somebody. You didn't have that before. It was only a case of you could have your Sim find out if they walked in on you cheating on them, but it's more viewed as like a jealousy sort of thing, like your spouse is, looking at somebody else, but it's not necessarily viewed as cheating. Whereas this one is actually like your Sim has cheated on the other Sim, and right now she has a moodlet that says, "You did what? I can't believe you cheated on me after all we've been through," from cheating confession, and that adds a +3 anger onto her. So she also gets a moodlet from it, the Sim who's receiving it, and he does he have a moodlet? Yeah, okay, so he's in the doghouse. So his cheating confession: "I was unfaithful to someone who loved me. I hope we can find common ground." And he feels embarrassed for 4 days, but +3, obviously. Hers is only going to last 4 hours because she's actually in a fairly happy mood, whereas he isn't in much of a happy mood, which is why his is going to last longer, if that makes sense, because of the meaningful stories. But either way, the Confessor Cheating is a really, really good mod, and I feel like you should definitely have it within your game if you like, you know, the whole realism of being able to confess to somebody that you actually, you know, had an affair, or, you know, whatever you were up to. It's just really nice to have in your game, and we have no interactions that are like it within the game currently, so I think it's something that's really good to have. Okay, so the next mod is actually called the Base Mental Alcohol. So I actually have Base Mental Drugs installed. However, the Base Mental Drugs mod does drugs and alcohol. The only reason that I've got the drugs mod installed is because in my Get Famous series, I do have some Sims who are using it. However, you can download either one, either the Base Mental Alcohol or the Base Mental Drugs mod. Either one is perfectly fine. So, I just realised there's actually no light in this bar. That's really strange. Let me go ahead and place a light because we can't see anything. Okay, there we go. That's better. So, right now, he's going to go and order his favourite drink. So, one thing to mention, in the drinks menu, right now, all of the names have been changed to the actual name. So, for example, Long Island Iced Tea, Gin Fizz, Root Beer Float, Mimosa. All of these names have changed to real-life alcohol names instead of the Sims 4 related names. You don't actually have to have those in your game. It's just a personal option. It's an optional mod that you can install with it that comes in the package folder. But if you don't want to download it, that's absolutely fine. You haven't got to put it in. However, what this mod will add is, first of all, the Base Mental Alcohol mod will add the ability to get drunk. So we'll speed through Gal actually drinking this drink, and then he should end up getting a moodlet in a little while. So just now. So he has the moodlet called Tipsy, so that's making him have +2 happiness, and Gale is feeling slightly inebriated. So right now he's feeling quite tipsy. So he's he's feeling pretty happy, you know. So if we go and have him actually have another drink, we'll go and have him quickly order another one. Hold on. It also adds the ability to become an alcoholic. So, for example, if you end up drinking too much, you're always getting tipsy, you have your Sim drink, and I don't mean like it's a case of like your Sim has to drink like a few drinks every day. A few drinks, you know, every other day. Well, not even every other day. But let's say your Sim drinks maybe 4 drinks a week. Your Sim is not going to become an alcoholic from that. Your Sim physically will have to drink maybe every day, do you mind? Every other day or maybe every day to be able to become an alcoholic. But that will mean that they will start getting like moodlets if they haven't drunk for a little while, where they feel like they are going to need a drink, and they're going to start to feel a bit uncomfortable if they haven't, you know, had any drink. Now, obviously, right now he's in the middle of having his drink. He's still feeling tipsy, but once he finishes this drink, okay, there we go. So now the white moodlet is gone, and he now has the drunk moodlet. So go home, Gal. You are drunk. So he's actually feeling dazed. So a +2 days moodlet. So he's going to sort of walk like this a little bit because he's feeling pretty drunk. And if we actually have him go home and go to sleep, he will probably wake himself up with a migraine, you know, and with a hangover from going out and drinking too much the night before. So that is one part of the mod. Now, there is also the Base Mental Drugs mod. However, you can, you know, go and look at that yourself. I'm only going to cover the alcohol bit in this video, but there is also the optional drugs option that you can have where it will add drugs. It will add the ability for your Sims to do the drugs, also get hooked on the drugs as well, and also become a drug dealer. So there's loads of different things around that sort of mod that you can install. However, in this video, I'm only going to be covering the alcohol section of it. So I'm going to go have Gal actually put himself to bed. Luckily, his wife's actually not in bed because I feel like his wife would not let him get into bed with her. So we're going to go pop him to bed, and we will see if he wakes up with his hangover moodlet. Okay, so he just woke up in the morning, and as you can see, he's got this hungover moodlet. So Gal is feeling pretty hungover. Maybe that final drink last night wasn't unnecessary. So he's going to have a +2 uncomfortable moodlet. And obviously that's also going to make him feel quite sick as well. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just depends on obviously how drunk they got. But obviously right now he is feeling pretty hungover, which I thought was quite a cool addition to add to the mod. And yeah, I think that's it for the whole Base Mental Alcohol mod. And obviously if you guys want to go ahead and download the drugs part of it as well, you may also. But I'm not going to be covering that bit in this video. But if you want to know anything else else about it. I cover it quite a lot in my Get Famous LP, so if you want to go and watch that, by all means go and watch it. Okay, so next up is actually the ultrasound mod. So what this is obviously once a sim becomes pregnant in their second trimester, they now have the option to, or second or third trimester, they now have the option to actually go to a gynecologist and find out how many babies they are having and also the gender of the babies. And they also get a little ultrasound scan that they can bring home and put on the wall, and I think it's a really, really nice addition to have. So what I'm actually going to do is go ahead and get these guys rumpity dumpity, and we'll go ahead and get Emmeline knocked up a second. There we go, and Emmeline is now pregnant. So we'll go ahead and fast forward until she gets into the second trimester. So right, okay, perfect. So she is now in her second trimester. So for this mod, obviously you have to be in the second or third trimester, as I said. You can actually head down to your phone down here, and in the travel option, we've actually got visit a gynecologist, and it will cost you 75 simoleons. Okay, so we go ahead and click on that. You can go alone or you can choose your significant other. So obviously we can go ahead and bring Gail. So we'll go ahead and send these guys off to the gynecologist, and what they will do is just go into a rabbit hole. They will head on off together by themselves, and then when they come back, they'll go ahead and bring a ultrasound scan back with them. So I'll go ahead and meet you guys once we have the gang arrive on home. Okay, so Emmeline has just got back, and she will find the ultrasound examination results inside her inventory. So if we go ahead and find a spare bit of wall a second, it's not taking that spot. There we go. Okay, this spot's good. So in the picture, we can see 3 babies. Okay, we can see 1, 2, 3. And if we go ahead and hover over it, it will say, the patient above is pregnant with triplets. It will most likely be 2 girls and 1 boy. So you can go ahead and find out how many babies she's having and also the gender of each of those babies. And she can go and view that. She will also, when she comes back, will have a moodlet. She will be really excited about the ultrasound. So it is exciting to find out the gender and number of the upcoming offspring. Now the setting up and decorating the nursery can begin. And also once she, goes ahead and looks at this ultrasound scan, she will also end up getting another moodlet, which say, viewing the ultrasound scan lets you delight in happy memories as well. So that's really, really nice. So that's something that you can always have your Sims go and look at, and always go and make sure that you can prepare for your babies and get a nursery sorted out before anything actually arrives, which I think is quite cool. So it allows you to prep a little bit more and maybe even get some name suggestions sorted out before you actually go ahead and head into the theatre room with them. So I think that is all for the ultrasound scan mod, and I think we're going to... So the next mod that we're going to be looking into is the first love mod. So what it is it allows your children to love or have like a first love or crush with another child. So right now, obviously, there's no like romantic or any sort of cute interactions between the children together. So what this does is it allows you to obviously have small little cute romances when they're children. Nothing over the top, nothing like that. They can't kiss or anything, but they can hug. And then obviously they can become first loves, and then what will happen is they can become sweethearts when they actually age up into teenagers, when they can officially start doing romantic interactions. So if we see if we can go ahead and find another child, then we can see and test out this mod so I can show you guys. Okay, so I just went ahead and invited over Toph Thompson, whatever his name is. Either way, we're going to have our little girl, Leilani, go ahead and greet, what was his name? Toph? Toph. So that's obviously them, talking and things. So obviously we can do a few friendly interactions and things. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then obviously their relationship will improve. So let me go ahead and actually cheat it up a little bit. I'll go ahead and cheat it up so they're now good friends. So, 3/4 of the way. And now we actually have the option within the first love section over here, which actually will come up after they get a certain level of friendship. They have to be quite high on the friendship level to get this. They can now go on first love and reveal the crush. So she can then go over to this little boy and actually reveal that she has a crush on him. And obviously, as I said, this is all innocent. It's not really like, creepy or anything. It's just really, really cute. It's just kids being kids. So she went ahead and revealed that she had a crush on him, and he obviously felt the same way. And then what we can do is actually exchange numbers so we can start texting, and also go ahead and hug him. So if we go ahead and actually give him a quick little hug, and then also exchange our numbers, and these obviously are the interactions that we have. So she went ahead and done that, and then she's also given him a hug. Yep, so that's what it looks like. There's not really too much more to it. Obviously they are the like first love interactions. They're, you know, that's what they can do. It's more of the fact that when they age up into teenagers, they also, you know, have a slight romantic interest with each other. And more of the fact that when you scroll over them, it says sweet, young and innocent love. So he is actually known as her first crush in her relationships tab, and when they age up to teenagers, they will have a slight romantic bar interest with each other, which is really, really cool. So obviously there's not too much with this mod, but it's more of the fact that it adds a feature within the game that isn't even in it, and I thought it's quite handy to have, and you know, I thought it's quite cute to have within the game, and it definitely makes for a more realistic gameplay, so I definitely wanted to include it in this mods overview. So the next one that we're going to look into is the Explore mod by Kawaii Stacy. So the Explore mod obviously it allows them to explore and do other things. That basically is where they go into a rabbit hole. They can go and, you know, do other things where you don't actually have to control them. They can improve skills, they can, you know, relationships, they can go do loads of different things using the Explore mod. So if we go ahead and click on somebody, you now have the Explore tabs. The first thing you need to do is actually go and try for your license, or being a child or a teenager. So for example, Mariana, she can then go try for her license because she's a teenager. Let's grab a kid. Let's grab Leilani. She will actually have to go and explore and get a bus pass. So hers is 250 Somalians, and obviously these guys are 50 Somalians. So they're all going to head on off, see if they can go ahead and get their licenses or their bus passes. And then obviously she will always get her bus pass, like Leilani will always come back with a bus pass. But it's just obviously Gail and Mariana who might not come back with a driver's license because they might not actually pass. But if they do come back, it then unlocks all these other interactions for us to do. But you do have to go out and obviously get your license first. So let's go ahead and speed on through whilst they're grabbing their licenses, and then we will pick up once they're back. Okay, so we are back, and Leilani just arrived back on home, and we got the notification that she has returned home. So now in her explore section, she now has the option to explore with, she has the option to go to attractions and services. Now bear in mind that obviously there's only a few different things that she can do because of the time it is. So right now she's quite limited to what she can do because obviously it is at 11 PM, but in the morning if we have her try and go and do things, she'll have a lot more things unlocked. So she ended up actually leaving after everybody else but came back earliest because she went and got a bus pass. Whereas the other guys, they're actually gone for a few more hours because they are trying to get their licenses and seeing if they passed. So let's go and wait a little bit longer and see if the adult and, you know, the teenager managed to pass their driving test. Okay, so Mariana has returned home. So has Mariana got her license? She now has. Amazing. Let's see if Gail managed to get his license as well. And he did. Perfect. So both of them actually managed to get it on their first try. So again with this, obviously there are only a few different things that they can do because of the time, but you can already see a few of these cool things. So attractions, obviously they can go to a bar, they can go to an adults only nightclub and some karaoke. He can actually go and do temporary work to earn himself some money. It actually tells you how much he will earn and how long he's gone from, and how this tells you how long he's gone from, this tells you what time it opens for, and explore with is the option to actually go with somebody else, which is quite cool. So I tell you what, let me go ahead and skip until morning until we can actually see all the interactions, and then I'll go ahead and pick back up once everybody is awake, and then we can go ahead and look at some of the options to explore with, and we can go ahead and see how they affect our Sims. Okay, so now it is the morning. We have a few more interactions that we can do. So we'll go ahead and take Gail out today. So we have a few different interactions on the Explore mod. We have the Explore with, which is the option to go with somebody else to go and do something. You've got the takeout option, which is where he goes out. He can either grab some food while he's out or he'll bring food back. Obviously right now all the interactions aren't available because it is still 6 o'clock in the morning. Later on there'll be like more options. Right now there's only a few like cake shops and like ice cream stores and stuff like that. You've also got the services section, which allows you to head to the hospital, go to the spa, grab some therapy, go get your nails done, do a little bit of weight training, or also get some artificial insemination, so you can go ahead and get pregnant. We've got some temporary work, which will allow you to obviously go out and do a little bit of work and earn some money. You've got the attraction sections, which obviously allows them to go out and do, you know, some fun things. So you can go out and do escape rooms, you can go do clay making, and obviously they last. It tells you how long like they'll be gone for. So realistically, this is for when you want your Sims to go and do something, but you haven't got enough time to stay with your Sim. So you just want them to go off, do it. For example, if we say, for example, also events and places to shop. So if we have him actually go to do a bit of weight training, because say, for example, I want to stay with the rest of my family, you know, maybe I'm doing something with the rest of my family, but realistically, I would have liked Gals to go to the gym. What I can do is actually just send him to the gym whilst I'm playing with all the other Sims, and he'll come back, and you know, the more he goes, the more it will start to improve his body. So if we have him go ahead and get ready, then he can actually head on off in a second to head to the gym, and then he will come back in a few hours time, and then obviously he would have, you know, he would have visited the gym and he would have done his thing, and yeah, and then we can go ahead and meet him back afterwards. So he's heading off to do a little bit of weight training at the Healthy Me gym. It's going to cost him 75 simoleons to go for the day, so it will cost him a little bit of money. So he's going to be gone for 2 hours, and then obviously he will come back, and that's basically what it is. It's like a rabbit hole. They head on off and they go, and then that's really it. There's nothing more to it. Obviously, all of those options are you know, available to you. They're all available from clicking on you, or clicking on your Sim, should I say. And then obviously, if you want to go ahead and explore with, and you want to go with somebody else, there's loads of different things to do. You can also send your Sims out on a date if you don't want to go with them. You know, if you want to stay with the other Sims. You've also got the option to go and head to vacation spots. So if you want to go and see Jurassic Plum Bob Park, and they'll be gone for 1 day, you can click on that, and then obviously it will give you the option to ask who they want to go with. And then, you know, they head on off and go and do their thing and explore, you know, with somebody else. So yeah, she can't do it right now because she's drinking, but yeah, normally obviously you can click on that, and then she can, you know, head on out with somebody else. So yeah, I think that is it for that mod. I think I've covered everything with that one specifically. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one is the Little Miss Sam's Zuru mod. So what it is it allows you to take out loans, and also allows you to take out cards within the game. So if we go ahead and head on to a laptop, we can go onto the more services, and we've now got the option to apply for a credit. So we can apply it to a maximum of 50,000 credit, and we can take all of these different ones out, and we can also buy a card. So taking out credit means what you do is if you get accepted for your credit, you will get an instant loan of 50,000 simoleons. Now what that will mean is eventually you'll end up paying money back every single day, depending on obviously how much you take. That you'll pay it back, but you'll also pay an interest on top of it. So you'll pay a percentage on top of that price for taking that out. So this is really useful if, for example, you end up having a baby, it was quite unexpected in The Sims, but you don't have enough room on your house, and you also don't have enough money to buy a new house. So you want a quick way of getting some money, but you still want to pay it back, and you still want it to be really realistic. What you can do is head on out, go and apply for a credit and take out a 50,000 simoleon credit. You will get that instantly, and then gradually you'll start paying that back every day. Your Sim will go on their phone, they'll call up, and they'll pay every single day. Now that's the idea of the credit, which I'll go ahead and show you in a second. The other one is also the ability to buy a card. So what this then allows you to do is put money on a card, for example, however much you want to, different versions of the card allows you to put different money on them. You then give it to another Sim in your household, and then you can then have them move out. So for example, if you want your Sims to have, or your teenager, to start earning their own money. So I'm trying to think of an example. You want your teenager to move out with their own money, they're just aged up to a young adult, that you want them to move out with maybe 30,000 simoleons instead of the standard 20,000. You can go ahead and put 30,000 on that card over there. You can have them move out, and then once they get home, you can cash in that card for the amount that it was worth, which means that it just allows you to take money around with your Sims and split it up between households, because right now there is no way of doing that in the game. So, Gal's just got home. Let's go and have him actually apply for some credit so I can show you guys what it looks like. Let's go and apply for some quick 5,000 simoleon credit, but obviously you can take any of those credits. You can also stack the credits on top of each other. So if you want to take out a 50,000 simoleon credit and also a 25,000 simoleon credit, you can do that as well. You can, stack them all on top of each other. But let's go ahead and apply for the credit. So as you can see, he's just sitting down on his computer. And then in 1 second, he's going to be given the funds into his account. There we go. He was given 5,000 Somalian credit. Thank you for using our credit offer. The documents are located in Gal's inventory. So if we now head to his inventory, he now has a credit agreement. So if he wanted to go ahead and pay the credit agreement off as a lump sum right now, if we go ahead and click on it, he would have to pay 5,500. So it is a penalty for actually taking the credit out, and as a percentage on top, he's actually going to actually have to pay 500 Somalians more. Now, the longer the time that he leaves that to pay, because you don't have to pay it back this way, your sim will automatically be paying that back all the time. So your sim can obviously head on onto their phone, which I don't think it will be available just yet. Yeah, it's not available just yet, but eventually after the next day you can head on onto their phone and click pay credit, and they can pay back a certain amount every single day, and they can keep it, you know, keep it at like their minimum payments. But if you just want to pay it off really quickly, then you can just head on into your inventory and pay it off this way. Now, the other thing that I was talking about is the card that you can do. So if we have him come in here, we can have him apply for credit, and let's go and have a look at some of the cards that are on offer for us to buy. So say, for example, Mariana is going to be aging up to a young adult, and we want to give her a little bit more money to move out with. These are the availabilities of the cards that we can use. So the starting money that you can give them is 100 Somalians. Let me do it in terms of cost. So the starting is 100 Somalians, and then 500, going up in increments of 1,000 until you get to 5,000, and then the maximum is 150,000. So say, for example, I want Mariana maybe to move out with 1,000 Somalians extra. I go ahead and buy this card for 1,000 Somalians, which will obviously deduct 1,000 Somalians from my current household and put it onto that card. So I now have this little green card in my inventory, which I can then maybe give to Mariana. So let me go ahead and pop that into Mariana's inventory, and she now has this little green card. And obviously once she moves out, she will take this little green card with her. So she's now moved out. Okay, this is all hypothetical. She's now moved out and she wants to go ahead and cash in her card. We just go ahead, grab the card, and click over to the little drop the items to sell here, and it's worth 1,000 Somalians. We go ahead and sell it. She gets 1,000 Somalians back. It's absolutely perfect for transferring money between two different households, and allowing people to move out with a certain figure instead of just moving out with whatever the game gives them. So yeah, that's a really useful mod. I use it in a lot of my series for moving out really early. For example, my 100 Baby Challenge series, I had them use it so they could move out quicker into their new house, and she's just gradually paying all of that money back every single day. As long as obviously you don't let yourself get into a position where the repayments cost more money than what you're actually making, then you're absolutely fine. And I think the mod is really, really useful for realistic gameplay, and allows a lot more doors to be opened when you're actually playing The Sims. Okay, so we've now got one of the last gameplay mods that we're going to have a look at. So let's go ahead and head off. It is called the Kauai Stacy's Hotels and Resorts mod. So we're going to have Gal actually head on out. Let's go and have him travel, and we are going to travel to a little resort. So I've gone ahead and popped a spa down here, and it actually has the Hotels and Resorts lot trait on it. So with the mod, once you download it, you will get the lot trait that you have to apply to the lot that you want it to go on, and you apply it to the lot, and it's in the lot trait section. It's called the Hotel and Resorts lot trait. That makes sense, right? Yeah. It can go on any single lot, obviously, as long as it's including, you need specific things in it. You need to have like beds, toilets, somewhere to make food. You need to have all these different things, obviously things that you would normally have at a hotel or a resort. And as long as that lot trait is on there, everything will start working. Just make sure that the actual lot type is it is anything but generic. Generic, it can have some issues. So as long as it's like spa, park, beach, any of these ones, it will work absolutely fine. So let's have our boo head on off, or gal, head on off to the Sunnyside Resort. Okay, so we just arrived. So it can actually take up to 2 to 3 hours for the resort to open. So don't leave the lot within the first 2 to 3 hours, because it can take a little while. And then, so tell you what, let's go ahead and have Gal actually go and relax out on the sun lounger just while we wait for the hotel to open up. And then once we have people start arriving to obviously come and, maids, things like that, people are going to start tidying up the resort, we will go ahead and hop back in a little while. Okay, so I went ahead and reset the time because it needed a little bit of a quick reset for it to actually work. So as long as we reset it before 11 o'clock, I found that the resort didn't actually work when it was a spa. I changed it to a beach lot and now it's all fully working. So just as a quick side note to you guys, don't select spa, actually just go ahead and select a beach lot or a residential lot or something like that. Just a different lot to a spa, because I found that the spa staff were like conflicting with everything. But now the staff have actually started to arrive, so there's a few different staff members around. So this one, for example, this is a guest actually. And then this lady over here is also a guest. So these are other people staying in the resort. Right here we have a staff. She is the maid who will go around and tidy everything up for us. We've also got, hold on. We've also got this lady over here. No, she's not. We've also got this guy over here, Victor Feng. He is also a guest. We have a guest over here. She's staying in a bed. See, people are like already using the bed, sleeping, things like that. You know, the whole resort is being used. We've got loads of different people turning up, like loads of different types of guests and things. We've also got, okay, let me see if I can find somebody who's not a guest. Oh my God, look at all these people. Hello, are you guys okay? Okay, let's look at them all. We've got some guests. We've got another set of staff. So the staff are in these, you know, outfits just here. If we click on a staff member who's actually going to be like serving the food and things, we can go ahead and actually go into the resort menu, and we can now request a birthday cake. We can also request food or request a wedding cake. So actually, my boo's getting a little bit hungry. I'm going to head on over to this guy and actually request for some food. Let me go ahead and actually like cheat up his needs a little bit, because he's having a really bad time, you know. Okay, so let me come over to this lady over here and request food. So we go ahead and ring this little bell, and this lady will head on off and actually start making us some food. Here she goes. So she's going to go and make us some food. Now, you've got to bear in mind, a lot of these people are actually like really dirty, or they're tired and things. Like a lot of the guests, for example, they're not normally like this. Is just because I cheated the time forward a lot. So a lot of their knees have just like dropped really quickly. So we're just going to ignore all the guests who are around the world. Normally, obviously, they'd be, you know, doing what these guys are doing and heading into the, you know, the jacuzzi and going asleep and stuff. But for the moment, obviously, they are like passing out and stuff. But we'll ignore that. So the lady that we just asked to make us some food is actually going to go and head on over and make us some food, and then obviously we get to eat that. So it's absolutely perfect. We don't even have to make our own food, and then obviously we get to use any of the amenities around here without paying, or without paying every single time we use it. So we can go and sleep, we can go and obviously request food, we can ask them to clean, we can ask them to do anything we like. We can go over and use the gym, everything like that. So after 11 o'clock every day, we will be charged 50 Somalians to actually stay in the resort. So you will be charged every single day that you stay here, but it will cover every single thing again. So obviously the whole idea is that we have to leave before 11 o'clock if we don't want to be charged again. And yeah, I think that's kind of it with everything. Obviously, you know, basically all of it is within this little pie menu that you get. So you click on here and you click on the resort menu, and you can go ahead and, you know, ask them to do things, you know, using this pie menu. And that's kind of it. You know, you have people tidying up, you have guests going around, you can go ahead and meet people, you've got staff to clean, and you've also got staff to make food. So I don't really see why you wouldn't want this in your game. You know, you basically just get to have resorts. And since we didn't get resorts in Island Living, it's the easiest option and the best option right now to be able to actually use resorts and, you know, make the most out of what we've got. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it is. So yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and get hold of this mod, you can obviously download it in the description below. I'll have a link to it in there. And yeah, let's go ahead and hop on to the next ones. Okay, so we go ahead and actually have Emmeline. We'll go have her find a job. So exactly like normal, we'll go ahead and click on the find a job option. She'll whip out her phone and we're going to call up and see what jobs are available. So all of my jobs are actually from one specific person mainly. They're actually called Midnight Tech, Midnight something, Midnight something Simmers. It's fine, they're going to be in the description anyway, so I don't need to know the name. Either way, their career mods are absolutely amazing. They do a bunch of them. They're all completely up to date with the new Island Living patch that we ended up getting, and they add loads and loads of new careers that we get within the game. They're all really realistic in terms of the money that you actually earn, so I'm really, really happy with all the mods that I've got in here. Like an airline job, you've got an archaeology job, so you'll start off as a volunteer. You will be unpaid until you get to level 2, and then when you get to level 2, then you're obviously not a volunteer anymore, you start getting paid. We've also got a baker, for example. You start off as an apprentice baker. You earn 15 simoleons per hour, and you work from 7 until 3. And then obviously, you know, it just works like every career. As you start leveling up, for example, you start getting paid more. So let's pick a different one, maybe a oceanography. So she earns 26 simoleons per hour. So right now she's at level 1, and she needs, you know, handiness level 2 to be able to get promoted. If we go ahead and actually promote her up a few levels, level 2 is called Dolphin Tank Cleaner, and now she leads level 5 of the handiness skill to get promoted. She obviously now gets paid more money, you know, the usual. And yeah, it works like every single other career, except obviously it will require different skills, and it allows you for your Sims to have different careers other than the base careers, because obviously there's not really many that's actually in The Sims 4. I feel like we don't really have enough, and I feel like I'm always making the same type of Sims, maybe a painter or a writer or, you know, a politician. They're all really the same, and I love the fact that this mod adds so many different careers. Basically all of the careers are actually available on their page. Some of them are Patreon only, so if you want to go ahead and subscribe to Patreon, I'm pretty sure their Patreon is like $5. I am using their Patreon, so you know, if there's certain career mods that I might have that you guys might not have in your game, but mainly all of the careers are available for you to actually get. Why is she wearing heels in the pool? Is this not a weird look? We're gonna ignore it. She's doing her own thing, okay? Yeah, basically, all of the careers that I've got available are realistically available to you guys. There'll only be a few that are available on Patreon, and you guys can go ahead and check on the website with which one you want. I'll go ahead and actually post up the link so that you guys can download all of them, you know, individually, and you guys can choose which mods, which career mods you want. If you sign up to Patreon, you can just download an all-in-one bundle, which is basically where it includes all of their careers in one download, which is what I'm using. But if you want to go ahead and pick and choose which careers you want, then you can go ahead and do that as well. So yeah, I'm a really, really big fan of that one. I love more careers in the game. It adds a lot more stories and just a lot more diversity to my Sims, and I feel like I couldn't really go without them anymore. Okay, so we're actually going to head into Create a Sim to check out a few of my traits mods, and then I think we'll be done for the video. Okay, so we are in Create a Sim, and as you can see, there is a lot more traits in here than what you guys are used to seeing. So, for example, as we scroll down, we're seeing Morning Sim, we've got Webmaster, we've got Beloved, Bad-Mannered, Alluring, Great Kisser, Gregarious, all of these different you know, all of these different traits that actually come within the game. They are from two different places. One is the All Traits in Create a Sim mod, which basically unlocks all of the traits that you can actually get within the game, either through unlocking them through lifetime reward points, or, you know, certain things that you would need to do, or aspirations, for example, to be able to actually receive the traits. They all become unlocked. So it doesn't add anything into your game specifically. Nothing's really a custom. It's more just an unlock mod that basically enables you to use them on any of your sim whenever you like, without them, you know, without them being hidden. You don't have to work to achieve them. You know, you can give your sims that when they start, which is something I really, really like. I'm such a big fan of, you know, all of these mods like Fertile and things. I just think they're really, really good to actually have in the game. And like, for example, like just all of these mods, like you just want them, you know, like the mods that came with, the traits that came within the game. There's only so much you can do with Sims with those traits, and I feel like this adds just so much diversity to your Sims and gives them so much more personality. And we also have the Kawaii Stacy traits bundle, which they include a few more traits. So for example, one of the traits in here, or sorry, two of the traits that I'm seeing right now are ugly and also unflirty. So these two specifically are the ones that come in the Kawaii Stacy traits mod. We've also got, which one have we got? I think either this one or this one comes with the Kawaii Stacy Trace mod, either one of the handy skills, and obviously these all work within the game, as in handy sims can instantly fix and upgrade any object, and this one, handy sims are naturally good at repairing things, so it will improve their skills, it will allow them to, you know, boost their skills faster, and overall, as I said, I think it just adds so much more diversity to your game, and I feel like, you know, if you don't have it, you really are missing out on, you know, what you can actually have within the game, especially considering we recently just got the randomize option and it works for all your custom traits. So right now, if I randomize her, she is a naturalist, which means that she doesn't fear fire. She's a savant, which means she gains all skills much faster, and then she's also a master, which means that she has supernatural control. So her vampire command powers used on vampire offspring always succeed. So loads and loads of random different traits that we've got in here that, you know, can really change up the personality of the sim. Which personally I really like having within my game. Right, so I think that's going to be it from me in this video. I think I've covered all of my favourite mods that I like to add more realism to your gameplay. The girl is actually about to float in algae, and that's going to be disgusting. No, it's fine, she's floating away, it's fine. Don't worry about it. No, she's going to float into lily pad. Never mind. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think of the mods that I've suggested in this video, whether you currently already use them, whether you want to go ahead and download them, you know, if you downloaded them because of the fact that I suggested them in this video. Go ahead and let me know what you think and whether you think I can improve for another one of these videos, because I'll probably do an updated one a little bit later when a few new mods come out. But yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like on the video. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll get around to them as soon as I can. And if you are new, it'd be awesome if you could subscribe, because obviously it helps our little family grow. And if you just want to hit the little notification bell next to the subscribe button, you get notified every single time I upload, which means you'll never miss one of my uploads. And I think that is everything. So as always, I love you all and I'll speak to you in the next episode. Bye guys!